Thursday that is... This event's the Virtual Enterprise Conference. It's a session that's really all about bringing students together and getting them interested in tech, Web 2.0, and the possibilities for e-entrepreneurship and e-enterprise. There are phenomenal opportunities out there on the web at the moment for students who are looking to start up. Not just in developing web-based businesses, but promoting their careers, their projects and their ideas, both through social networking and through more traditional online media.
I'm Julie Masters and I am the Entrepreneurship Education Manager for North and Mid Wales, part of the Welsh Assembly Government, the Enterprise, the Central Enterprise team. We are trying to inspire young people to become more entrepreneurial and to try and encourage them to actually think of self-employment as an alternative route to joining a company or becoming employed by a company. It's really important that we raise awareness of the types of self-employment that's out there. It's important that we give people inspirational messages and then give them some of the skills that they need to equip themselves so that they would actually consider starting up their own business.
My name is Lauren and I run a social innovation outfit called Snook in Glasgow, and we're all about using the design process to improve public services. And I'm here today to talk about my journey as a graduate, how I've used the online tools to really boost my employability, my confidence in myself, and really expand my network. I started off with a blog called Red Jotter, and I just wrote on there every day about what I was doing at university, different services that I was exploring, where I felt I could add value to these services, different ideas that I had, and gradually a brand built up around Red Jotter, and then I started to tweet. I'm on Twitter as Red Jotter as well, and it was really just about having conversations, connecting with people, meeting people that I would never usually have met. And my advice to the graduates and the students is just to get online, just start small, hover around and listen in the background at first if you want to, but just get on there and test it out and see what happens.
My name is Paul Smith and I'm probably best known as the Twitch Hiker. The Twitch Hiker project was a project a couple of years ago where I used social media, specifically Twitter, to travel around the world in 30 days, relying entirely on the goodwill and generosity of strangers who also use Twitter. The idea came one morning while in Tesco, in Gateshead, obviously, and it was born out of frustration. It was wanting to do some travelling and wanting to get out of Gateshead for a while. I'd started using Twitter a lot because as a freelance writer who sits in his dining room a lot, you don't get out to see people very often. So Twitter actually had become my social circle to a point. It was never meant as a business. I had the idea and I did it because I could. The spin-off of it was that I got a book deal offered to me on Twitter 6 months after I did it. So, in terms of business, it's done okay, but that was never the point of doing it. The point of it was actually, if you've got an idea, then you should act on it rather than sit on it. I think the theme coming out of today is that you should just get on with it. And instead of resting on your laurels or thinking you've had a great idea but you'll do something about it next week, the week after. If you can do it and there's no harm in trying it, then you absolutely have to have the focus to get on and do it, because it's a big world out there and there's lots of people who are trying similar things.
My name is Alex Chu and I've done a range of viral projects online. The best known is probably the $1 Million homepage, which I did about 5 years ago, and was an attempt to make some money to sort of avoid getting lots of student debt. And that project kind of took off, and I made $1 million in like 4 months. More recently, I had a project called Do Nothing for 2 minutes, which was a fun kind of meditation on like internet addiction. And then the other project that took off was a game called Sock and Door, which was like a simple flash game based around the President Bush shoe throwing incident. internet has flattened the landscape, so it's leveled the playing field, right? So ideas that people like will spread really fast. And it obviously depends on the idea, to what extent it spreads and how useful it is. You know, some ideas become actual useful utilities like Facebook. Some of them are short-lived, like the projects that I've done generally. But the opportunities, the barriers to launching things is even lower. You know, you can buy a computer, you can buy a few books on programming or design, and you can get something going pretty quickly.
That the major message today is have a go. Be confident enough to have a go out there, do it. Assess what you've got to lose, and often, if you're a student, you've got less to lose than at any other stage in your life. Have a go. Don't be afraid to fail. There are piles of opportunities out there. There are low-cost opportunities out there, and you can get masses and masses of opportunities, contacts. You can find lots of information, and it will cost you very little.